What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video we have part 3 of the Great League Battle of Spice. I want to say a massive thank you for all the support in the previous 2 videos, and as always thank you to everyone that has taken part in the competition. You guys are the reason I'm able to produce such insane videos like these. I'll be making polls for you to vote for your favourite spicy teams from all 3 videos either tonight or tomorrow, so once again just look out for that, and if you haven't seen either of the previous videos I highly recommend checking them out. I actually have a full Battle of Spice playlist, so if you're tired of watching boring meta teams all the time, that might be the playlist for you. Before we get into the battles, I wanted to just quickly ask you guys about an issue with my phone. Since I have quite a large audience, maybe there's someone that can help me. If you do just want to skip to the battles, then as always there will be chapters in the description. It should be very easy to navigate. But yesterday my phone randomly rebooted itself on its own, and when I was able to get back in, my Wi-Fi completely stopped working. You can still toggle it on and off, but it doesn't search for any networks. I have an Asus ROG Phone 5S, so it's a pretty good gaming phone, although not super popular, but I was wondering if anyone else owns either this phone or a similar model and has experienced the same issue. Looking online at various posts and forums, the only solution seems to just be to send it back to Asus to be repaired, but I want to know if there's anything that I can do before having to do that, because that seems like a last resort kind of thing, and obviously if I don't have my phone then I won't be able to make much GBL content, so that is a bit of a concern. But yeah, if you're able to help me then please do, if not then no worries. But with that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. In your opinion, what is the best thing about running Spice picks instead of using meta Pokemon? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we lead a Shiny Sneasel into Trevenant, so a great lead for the Sneasel. The opponent staying in initially before swapping into Medicham. We bank an Avalanche before coming in with our XL Esper. I don't believe this is fully maxed out yet, but the opponent goes for a Dynamic Punch that's resisted damage, and the fact they went for Dynamic Punch there means that they're probably running Dynamic Punch and Psychic, so we will overfarm, go for a side shot, grab a shield from the opponent. They're going to go for a full counter farm down, allowing us to make it to a second side shock, and this will be grabbing both shields from the Medicham. They get the counter farm down, but it doesn't matter. We can come in with our Sneasel and straight away just go for the Avalanche that we did bank before swapping out. Avalanche will be enough damage to take out the Medicham, and the opponent's going to come in with a Galarian Stunfisk. We come in with our Riolu, and the opponent comes back in with the Trevenant. Now we can shield here, and it is really nice that Riolu did get some nice coverage with the Blaze Kick this season, because Cross Chop would be double resisted, but Blaze Kick will be enough damage to take out the Trevenant. They come back in with the G-Fisk. We will probably shield this up, probably going to be a Rock Slide. We might be able to live that. I actually don't know what Riolu's stats are. Maybe it's got no defense whatsoever, but we go for the Cross Chop, dealing very nice damage to the Stunfisk. They make it to another Rock Slide. Will we live this? No, we don't, but we can come in with the Sneasel, get the Ice Shard farm down, and take that game. Into next game, dream lead for us as we got a triple electric theme team leading into Pelipper. Now the opponent safe swaps into Lantern. We're going to stay in, just go for the discharge straight away, and the opponent going to let the first move go through. They end up throwing on alignment, so that's perfect for us. We can shield this up, they go for the Surf, and we're going to go for another discharge, throwing straight away this time around, and the opponent lets it go through there. So we do maintain alignment. Alignment not really necessary up against a Pelipper with 3 electric type Pokemon, but they come in with Deoxys, and interestingly we're staying in, taking massive damage from the counters here, but we go for a discharge, grabbing a shield, and at this point they will be shielding everything because they do not want their Pelipper aligned to an electric type. The opponent base with a Thunderbolt. Smart play there, not debuffing their attack straight away. We can go for a Crunch here. Crunch will be grabbing the final shield from the opponent, and at this point I don't know if we will live a Psycho Boost from this range, but they go for another Thunderbolt. Not really sure why, but we can now go for a Crunch, and Crunch will be enough damage to take out the Deoxys. They come back in with the Pelipper, they get the resisted wing attack farm down, and this is still a little bit scary here. I have no idea if Pikachu is bulky enough to tank a couple of Weather Balls, but we're going to swap. We catch the move perfectly onto Magneton. The opponent full sent a Hurricane instead, and that allows us to make it to the Wild Charge, and we're able to take that game. In the next game, we see a Grovyle in the lead. We safe swap into our Mothim, and the opponent responds with a Licky Tongue. We're going to let the first move go through as the opponent goes for a Stomp. What? I don't... Why would you... What? Okay, I'm not sure why you'd run Stomp on Licky Tongue, especially when you've spent like so long grinding the XL candies for it. You probably should look up the best moveset for a Licky Tongue, but oh well. We're going to come in with the Grovile, and we will let the first move go through. They go for another Stomp here, so I don't know what their second move is, but we should be able to Bullet Seed farm them all the way down because they're running Stomp and not the Body Slam that you should be running. We can now go for Aerial Ace, grabbing a shield from the Medicham. We now swap into our Butterfree. We've got 2 shields remaining. Hopefully they don't have something like a Bastiodon in the back. We're going to shield up the Ice Punch. The opponent's staying in with the Medicham. We go for a Psychic here. This does have the opportunity to debuff their defense, and Psychic will be grabbing the shield. No defense debuff there, but we let the next Ice Punch go through. We do tank that fairly well. And the opponent swaps into Lantern, Water Gun Lantern though, and we barely make it to the Bug Buzz. With all shields down, Bug Buzz is going to do big damage to the Lantern. We come back in with the Grovile, and we go for the charge move straight away. This Leaf Blade will be taking out the Lantern, and we should be able to make it to one final Leaf Blade up against the Medicham there. The opponent probably shouldn't have gone for the charge move there, should have committed to the full counter farm down, but I don't believe it matters here as we go for the Leaf Blade, taking out the Medicham, and we take that game. Now into the next game, you might have seen this battle on another channel already, not from this perspective, but from the YouTuber's perspective, which is going to be our opponent in this battle as we go for an Ice Punch, grabbing a shield from the Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen, not a great lead for us, but we do have that ability to hit for super effective damage with that Ice Punch, and we should be winning the one shield scenario there. The opponent going to recognize that, so they will now commit the shield and then just fully Poison Jab farm us down. So we swap into Tyrant. We don't allow that to happen. They have enough for the Earth Power, and they full send the Earth Power before swapping into a Licky Tongue. We can now go for a Dragon Claw, and Dragon Claw not going to do too much damage up against the very bulky Licky Tongue, but they do have to full send a Power Whip to deal neutral damage here as Body Slam is resisted. Power Whip going to do some nice damage here, but hopefully we can make it to the back-to-back Dragon Claws. Going to go for the first one here, and we're just one away from the next move, and actually no, we're able to fully Dragon Tail farm them down and then come out with another Dragon Claw loaded to throw straight away into the Greninja, dealing some very nice damage, getting off one more Dragon Tail as well, but we're able to swap, catch the move onto our Hitmonchan. Hydro Cannon takes out the Hitmonchan, and here the opponent's going to swap back into the Nidoqueen. We overfarm as much as possible, go for an Ice Punch. We're just one away from the next Ice Punch, and I do believe they're one away from another charge move on Greninja, but we make it to the resisted Ice Punch, taking out the Greninja, and we take that game. Into the next game, immediately we see, I don't know what we led with actually, but we're going to see a Licky Tongue come in, go for a Body Slam, and we swap into a shiny Genesect. And this is one of the rarest shinies for the Great League, probably the rarest shiny in the entire Great League, as when this was in research, the shiny wasn't even available. It came out quite a while after, so the only way to get this Pokemon is if you just didn't claim that research for absolutely ages. And they have also now used an Elite TM to get Techno Blast, which does big damage to the Medicham there. We can now come back in with the Chandelure, go straight for that Flame Charge, and Flame Charge will be grabbing a shield from the Medicham. They make it to a charge move. We've got 2 shields, we might as well start shielding. Gonna shield up the resisted Ice Punch. The opponent's staying in with the Medicham. They swap into Lantern, and I thought we were gonna go for a Poltergeist there, but we've got a really strong response to the Lantern in the back with our shiny Shadow Venusaur. We let the move go through. That actually does quite a lot of damage there, but we can go for a Frenzy Plant. No, we actually overtap there, I do believe, or maybe we're just lagging a bit unfortunate there, but we can now go for the Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant will easily take them out, grabbing the final shield instead, but we make it to another Frenzy Plant, and Frenzy Plant will definitely take them out from this range. They come back in with the Medicham, and it's a simultaneous KO, but we still had health on that Chandelure. Now into the next game, we've got a very interesting theme team. 3 purified Hundo Pokemon that do not reach anywhere near 1500 CP. I don't think any of these are fully maxed out, but they are definitely XL. The opponent shields up the return, they swap into Talonflame, and we've got a Rock Throw Onix to hard punish them. We're actually going to shield the first move here. I'm not sure why. We do resist everything, and Onix is very bulky, but they come back in with their Ninetales. We're now going to let the super effective Weather Ball go through, so interesting shield usage here, but we still make it to the return, and the opponent will double shield the Ninetales here. They go for a Charm farm down. They do get the farm down, but we can come in with our Numel and shield this charge move here, and it just depends what the opponent has in the back. They go full Weather Ball, we do get the full Ember farm down, and they've got a Victory Belt in the back, and they're actually running Acid as the fast move. Okay, that's definitely not the way to go, but we go for the return, one-shotting the Victory Belt, and take that game. So going into the next game, another Grovyle. This time it is Shadow into Azumarill. So a very good lead matchup for us. The opponent's going to swap into Jumpluff, and we actually come in with a Water Gun. What is this Pokemon called? They go for the Energy Ball there, a Croconaw. I don't know why I was blanking there, but we go for the Ice Punch, I believe, and Ice Punch does a ton of damage to the Jumpluff, but it's not quite enough to take them out. Jumpluff, incredibly bulky, so we're going to double shield our Croconaw, go for that Water Gun farm down. Not sure why we didn't come in with the Crocalaw. That's actually quite funny that they've got very similar names. I think someone suggested for me to run Crocorok, Croconaw, and Crocalaw on the same team. So let me know in the comments if you want to see that theme team. But here we're going for an Ice Punch into the Sableye. The opponent does make it to a Foul Play. Foul Play will be taking out the Croconaw, but we can come in with the Croconaw instead. Oh, sorry. The other way around. It's very confusing since they've got such similar names, but we will let this move go through. Luckily, we're not a ghost type in the second stage evolution there, so it doesn't do too much damage. We're going to go for a Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade going to do big damage to the Azu, but can we live an Ice Beam from this range? The answer is no, unfortunately, we cannot, but we're now going to overfarm, go for the Crunch, and we should be able to take them out with a second Crunch if they do shield, which they do. And Crunch coming through. This is resisted damage, non-stab, but Crunch takes out the Azu. And can we farm down the Sableye? Yes, we can, and we're able to take that game. Into the next game, another Azumarill in the lead. This time we're running Caracosta in the lead. Not a great matchup. We've got two grass types in the back, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do eventually swap out of this matchup, but we go for a Body Slam there, and we're just going to wait for the opponent to throw their energy. The opponent goes for the Play Rough, and now we do swap into Lurantis, running Fury Cutter as the fast move, baiting out a Sableye. So we're going to go for a Leaf Blade straight away. This is going to do quite a lot of damage to the Sableye, but it doesn't really put them into farm down range, but we can make it to a second Leaf Blade before they throw any of the energy. So the opponent does overfarm quite considerably. We let the first Foul Play go through. It takes out Lurantis. We come in with the Caracosta, and unfortunately they do make it to a second Foul Play. They also throw right at the end there, making sure they don't give much farm to our Maractus that comes in. We've got two shields and a Maractus. They come in with the Azu. We're going to overfarm in this matchup. Use our shield here as the opponent goes for another Play Rough. So probably not running Ice Beam. We're now going to go for an Aerial Ace. This probably won't take them out, but it does get them very low. They swap straight away into Malamar, and we are also running Solar Beam. Does the opponent know about the Solar Beam damage? They do not. We one-shot. We get the screenshot as well, which is the most important factor of the battle, and we take that game. Into the next game, we see a Clone Venusaur in the lead up against our Shadow Magmar. The opponent swaps into Greninja. For some reason, we come in with a Slowpoke. That's very weird. I guess our entire team is very weak to Greninja, but here we're going to go for a Psyshock. Also very questionable as it is double resisted against the Greninja, but the opponent will shield it up and go for another charge move instead of committing to the full farm down. At this one, we have to come in with the Magmar, and we are running Karate Chop, so that's not so bad. It is super effective. We're going to shield the first move. They're probably going to make it to back-to-back moves, so we will have to double shield in this matchup, and we do. They go for the Hydro Cannon this time around, but we get the Karate Chop farm down. They come in with a Bastiodon. We're going to bait with a Fire Punch. Fire Punch grabs the shield though, and we will make it to the Scorching Sands. This is going to do a ton of super effective damage here. It's double super effective. It nearly takes them out. We stay in with the Magmar, nearly farm them down, but we're able to farm down with the Sandshrew, and now we will be able to make it to a Blizzard to take out the Venusaur. They make it to a charge move. Everything is resisted though. Frenzy Plant easily tanked. We make it to the Blizzard, and this will easily one-shot the Venusaur, and we're able to take that game. And into the final battle of this video, we see Seaking into Zangoose, so some nice spice from the opponent here in the lead. They say swap into a Shadow Nidoqueen. We're going to stay in. They don't throw straight away, so we can Icy Wind them before they get to a charge move, which is really nice for us, as it means we won't have to shield this move. We are going to let the Poison Fang go through, come in with our Stuffle, go for a full tackle farm down, but they do make it to another Poison Fang. So will we shield here? No, we're going to let it go through. Stuffle actually kind of bulky there. It tanks that quite well. we are going to see the opponent waiting at the switch clock before coming in with an Alolan Marowak, and this is really unfortunate as they fully wall our moveset. We're going to go for a Superpower. Superpower is double resisted though, it doesn't do much damage, and because we debuff our defense, we don't even make it to a second Superpower. Not that it really matters, it wouldn't have done much either, but the opponent comes back in with the Zangoose. We're going to swap here and catch the move. They're clearly not going to go for a close combat up against such a low Seaking, so a really nice catch there. We can now shield this move up. It is just another Night Slash bait, unfortunately. They get a boost as well, so we do end up throwing straight away. Flame Charge, gonna take out the Zangoose, and the opponent does have 2 shields remaining, but is it really gonna help them here? We're gonna go for a crunch up against the Marowak, grabbing a shield from the opponent, and we should be able to live anything they throw, unless they Fire Blast us. They go for the double resisted Shadow Bone. That allows us to make it to a crunch. We actually bank the crunch. We swap, and we go for a Drill Run on the CMP tie with the Marowak. Perfect gameplay there. We can now just let this move go through as we do have that crunch loaded. We can go for it straight away, and crunch from this range will be enough damage to take out that Shadow Alolan Marowak, and we're able to take that game. So that's gonna be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.